Good evening, everyone. With me today is Jack Evans, the chairman of the board with me. Before I begin, I want to say it again that I know today's presented hardship to the region, and I thank everyone for their support as we work through this. Let me tell you that the shutdown today was necessary. Since we began at midnight, Metro teams have identified 26 areas where damaged jumper cables and connector boots exist. The inspection is nearing completion, but I would anticipate this number to grow slightly even higher, slightly. Let me just share with you what we did while the system was closed at midnight last night. We segmented the system into 22 underground inspection zones where 600 jumper cables are located. This includes all areas of all lines. Each of the 22 zones were inspected by teams that were looking for defects in jumper cables, connecting boots that were damaged or improperly positioned, water infiltration, and debris that could burn near cables. The teams are covering approximately 100 miles of tunnels, supported by 14 prime movers for supplies and materials. Behind those teams were multiple cable construction crews who were making repairs to any areas that were identified and needed immediate repair. What we found. If you take a look at this map behind me, if you could, what we found was, as of 5 p.m., we found, as I mentioned, the 26 defected areas. We've completed 19 of the zones. We got 3 more to do, and that's why we're roughly 86% there in terms of the inspection. We've identified 26 areas that require replacement repair. We've accomplished 18 of those to date, and we have 8 that are open. On the map is generally showing you where these are located. Some of these obviously have multiple ones in one area. That's why you don't see all 26 up there. The red marks are what we have internally called showstoppers, where we would not be running trains if we came upon these conditions. So there's three of those: at McPherson, at Farragut North, and at Potomac Avenue. Let me also introduce a video that we have that shows you the type of work that was undertaken, and then also what we found. So this is a crew walking down the track to inspect. This is a jumper cable between the third rail, an expansion joint of third rail. This is a cable with the freight cable. This is why the system was shut down. As bad as that looks, these do not indicate the cable that they would catch fire or they were imminent for fire, but clearly this is a hazardous condition that we cannot accept. Our focus today has been basically to identify and mitigate these fire risks immediately. And again, this is why the system was closed. In terms of next steps, as of 5 p.m., again, we've completed 18 of the 26. At 5 a.m. tomorrow, we will finish the immediate repairs for all 26 and any additional ones that we find over the next few hours. If we do not, and so we will open the system tomorrow at 5 a.m. If we are not able to repair any of those as we come upon them, basically what we will do is we'll go into a single tracking mode and or bus bridges between stations. But our intention basically is to finish all of them through the evening. We have the teams in place to do it, and what we found so far, we are confident we can get there. Although I want to caution, we still have about 10% of the system that's still under inspection. So with that, before I take any questions, I would like to turn it over to the chairman.
Okay, thank you, Paul, and good evening to everyone. And first, I want to take this opportunity to thank Paul and all of the Metro staff and others who have come in to help with this enormous effort. And an enormous effort it was. They began at midnight last night and have worked tirelessly all the way up until now, and will continue to work till 5 o'clock on Thursday morning to identify and correct any problems in our Metro system. Secondly, I want to say to all of the people who use Metro in the region, we are sorry this had to happen, that it has come to this. We are aware of the inconvenience that was caused by closing down the system for the 29 hours. But we still believe today that we made the correct decision because of safety, that none of us in good conscience could send those trains out, even with full knowledge of the participants of what the situation was, knowing the risks that we had. And the presentation by Paul here today, I think, confirms that we made the correct decision, that there are issues, and that we are repairing those issues. And today's example is why Metro is so important to our region. The commute in was difficult. The commute home is even more difficult. And I think it's important to remember that Metro is not some standalone organization. Metro is us. Metro belongs to the residents and the businesses in the district, in Virginia, in Maryland, and to the federal government. We are Metro. All of us. We own Metro. We participate in Metro. It is our organization, and it's our responsibility. So as we go forward, it's very important that everyone remember what happened today and everyone participate in investing in our future. We have a capital plan coming up, a one-year capital plan that will help us assess what has to happen for the future of Metro. And then we have a 5-year capital plan that we want to put together, and we are going to need investment in that capital plan. I go back to my time on the board in 1991, 25 years ago, when the discussion centered around a regional funding dedicated source for Metro, a dedicated funding source. And here I stand 25 years later as the chairman of the board of Metro again, and no progress has been made on the issue. That is unconscionable. So as we go forward, I hope this is a wake-up call for the entire region, for the district, for Virginia, for Maryland, and for the federal government, that we need to invest in our system once and for all. We need to establish the dedicated funding source, and once and for all, we need to support Metro. I recognize, I have been around 25 years as an elected official, that the worst time to ask for more money or more support is when you're doing poorly. I recognize that. And it's Paul, myself, and my board, who are all very committed to Metro, who are going to show you that we are turning this organization around. We are going to make the hard decisions that are necessary to make this the shining example of regional cooperation and the pride of the region that it was when I left here in 2000. And we will do our part to make this a safe, reliable system, and then the region has to do its part to support Metro. So I want to thank you all for coming out here today. Again, I want to thank the residents of the region, the businesses, the people who support and participate in Metro. We are sorry for the inconvenience. It appears we will be opening tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we will again look forward to working with all of you to make this a great system.